Okay, so this is the continuation of interface and polymorphism example. As you could see, we're done running our program. We can adjust the person object. It's either student or instructor. But the thing is, if we run the application, I don't know if this is a student or a instructor. So there must be a way telling that this is a student or the instructor. Now we go back on our class diagram. Oh, by the way, I made an error on the symbol. This should be in a dash. Okay, so remember that when you are showing interface, it should be in dash. Okay. By the way, there is also a naming conventions that you need to follow in naming your interface. It can be normally it can be an adjective, but if it cannot be an adjective, you may adopt a noun form. Example of these are list, map, self-drivable, drivable implementation, wall socket, or can teach. So on the first two, you have the list and a map, which is noun. Self-drivable, that is adjective. You have a suffix of the word able, and on the drive implementation, you have the suffix impl, short for implementation. And you may adopt also the prefix. In this case, on wall socket, you place the I there, and you also can insert a prefix can teach. Okay, so that's a form of an adjective also. Okay, but the rule here is just you make it more understandable to the user. So you may or may not follow the convention, but use it with precaution. Going back to our requirements, so how do we know that on our school app that the one that we're displaying is a student or an instructor? I think we need to insert a new method that would do that function. Let me add here plus get label, that would be string, and the label that we have here is different from the label of the instructor. So let's make a static find. Should be plus because static finals are public. Okay, so that should do the trick. Let's go back to our program. Let's modify first our interface. Let's modify our student. So here, there is an error on student because you need to include the unimplemented method. So you'll just click this one. So get label will be added here. And here we declare a static final variable or constant, which is a string. We call this one label. and we place here student. Down here, going to return our label. Okay. We do the same on instructor. Okay, we're done on the two. Let's go back on our school record. So instead of this one, printing of records, because this school app is too long, you can make it shorter by putting this output on the school record. You simply say public. You use the toString method. Let us say I have here string output, and my output would consist of what? So that would be whatever the person label. So here you can get the label and say student number, for example, and then get the ID. Thus, the other one would be again person, get label, and then you get the name. So get ID and get name are the getters that we have here on our school record portion, school record object. Okay, so we forgot the new line. So don't forget the new line. Every time you print the record, \n. And then you say here initial thoughts. So that would be person. Get initial thoughts. Idea of fun. So fun. And then we return the output. So that would do the trick. Let us adjust the app. Okay. We don't need this one. We simply say system out println. It's just the record. Let us run this one. See? So we know already that the record is a instructor. So this is the idea for initial thoughts of instructor. And this is the idea of fun of instructor. When you change this to a student, save it, run it. So it becomes a student, and these are the data and the ideas and the thoughts of a student instructor. Okay, so the way we put our data here is by the use of setter method. We use all the set method. Is there another way to put data without using these setter methods? The answer is yes. You may use by means of a constructor. So here we only have one constructor, which is the default, but we need to modify that. We go back on our school record and we'll create a constructor. How do we do that? So we go on source, generate constructor using fields, select all, generate. So we have our constructor. You may remove the super, although this will work even there's a super on it. And we go back now on our school app. So instead of doing this, we placed here 1, 2, 3, 4. And then what else? John. And then we have the person. So we remove this one because we don't need it. And we have this one. You save it, run. You can further improve it. You may remove this one. You can immediately say that this person is actually new student. If you save this one, you run it, so this is already a student. If you make this one instructor, save it, run it, and this is already an instructor. So you make your program elegantly short and easily can be modified later.